Right, we're going to quickly install the front brake. Getting rid of the chrome cover, which suffered a terrible fate. It's a story for a different time. That bracket will hold your speed sensor, so before you put anything in, it's worthwhile clipping it in, because it will be sitting underneath, so it's important not to forget it. Might actually be in the way of a little bit in the way of doing up the bolts, so those two ticks. Clip that in at any time really, but the bottom has to go through that clip. There we go, like that. Yeah, that's workable. So, gonna add thread locker. If it's willing to come out at some stage. No, hardened. It's flowing now, alright. Ish. Just gonna put it in. Do it up just a little bit. Torque to 39, although we are using the thread locker, so I'm going to do slightly less. Thanks for the tip, Sim, if you're listening. We're going to do 35. It's got it nicely. So with that in, we can clip that in place, shift it out of the way a little bit. That should be fine. That's your brake back in place. Moving on, the mudguard. Right, that can be a bit of a pain if you ask me, but it has to be done anyway, so let's crack on with that. Actually, we're going to raise the bike for that because it's more comfortable. That's better. So, That's one thing. Don't forget these washers, because these little buggers can sometimes run away. The brace, very easy. That tiny bit towards the brake, because that's where you put in your hose. So that's relatively easy to remember. You can just squeeze that in now. We'll manage. There you go. It's running away already. There we go. That's in. I think the trick is just to secure it in two places, so you can work comfortably. So we're going to do just that. So that's number one. Just a little bit. I'm going to do this side as well. Across. And number two. That's lovely. Got the washer in here. Spacer, I mean, sorry. Just put a spacer in here. And what we're gonna do now, just align everything properly. And this one will go in here, and that's that. Yeah. So let's give it a bit more oomph. Although I don't think it actually needs it. We're just gonna add a tiny bit. And whack it in. Alright, this next part is horrible, so make sure you have everything ready, and by everything I mean the all your parts for your front wheel, which is the spacer, this little fella, grease it up. This one is already greased up. Grease up your wheel on both sides, the bearings. And put the bolt where you have the turn limiters. It will lock the handlebar roughly in a straight position. Get all the crap out of the way. Unlock your lift if it was locked. Drop it a bit. And right, what we need, and we need to be very careful because we have white walls, so I've forgotten that's the wrong end, of course. I'm going to whack that in a little bit. And we're going to bring the wheel in. And so get ready for swearing if you touch your white walls. Bringing it at an angle, and the reason for that is as you will be lowering your lift, to make it clever, it will be coming down as a, I'll call the wheel, right, probably too much of an angle, there you go, bring that inside, make sure your brake doesn't touch the painted area. Yeah, what I've managed to do is slide the brake in, and this side is alright. And drop it in nicely. Too much. Would look cool if it was like that. So, what we need to do is to insert that little fella here, which is your speed sensor. That's not going in, so a bit of modification there to our plans. Whack it in place first here. Now drop it down and a little bit. Go. So that's locked in place. That's in. This end, spacer goes in and run it through like a piggy. There you go. And once you get that through, that's progress. It's not fully in, so just lift it, shift it, and that's coming in very nicely. Sound. It spins. It doesn't spin very well because we'll have to pump the brakes a little bit, so nothing to worry about. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna torque it up. So the front axle is a very healthy 65 Newton meters. Actually, before we do that, it would be worthwhile just adding a bit of thread locker at the end. There we go. Now the pinch bolt. The pinch bolt will be only 35 if I remember correctly. 33. Right, now before we tighten it up, pump the shocks. Just to get it moving a little bit. I'm going to loosen that up to 33. Just a little bit, and that's your front wheel done. Whew. It's one thing out of the way.